Hello guys and welcome to tomsportsjournal.com. Here as always we have some new weekly content to tuck into. Now in this week's exclusive I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by fellow Boltonian, Nicky Adams of Northampton Town. Now Nicky has represented the likes of Bury 3 times, Northampton, Carlisle and Leicester City, just to name a few clubs there. Good evening Nicky, I hope you're keeping well during these testing times, mate.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. You? How's things?
It's great to not actually disguise my Bolton accent for more than 5 minutes.
You don't have to disguise it with me, mate. No worries.
So what just sort of stuff have you been doing during lockdown, Nicky? It must be nice to spend time with family after being away from them for so long during season after season without really spending much time. It must be nice to spend some time with the family.
Yeah, it's been obviously it's not been great circumstances with what's been going on. But like for me personally, it's been brilliant. Like to spend time with my family. I've just been at home with missus and kids, like say for a good couple of months, and a break that I'm not used to having. You know, I travel up and down the country, like I say for a lot of my career. So it's just nice to have that little break. You know, because obviously I get the down days I do get. It feels like it goes quickly, and then I'm back into training or back playing. So yeah, it's been a nice little break, and just like I say, every day with missus and kids, spending some quality time with them.
Have you been trying to keep yourself active and fit, doing exercise in the garden and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've just been messing about really with the kids, just having fun. Just that, I said to the missus when she was like, "Oh, have you got to keep fit?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do the odd bit," but I sort of knew that it weren't going to be. I think we all knew that it weren't going to be like, "Oh, we'll have a couple of weeks off, then we're back in." I thought we knew. I think we all knew it was going to be a bit of an extended break, and you know, I'm lucky enough that we finished in the playoffs and we're going to get to finish. But I think for the lads, everyone who's finished, it's going to be a good 4 months before everyone plays again. So I just sort of said to her, I was like, look, I'm just going to have some time off with the family, have a good time. The kids keep me fit as it is. Do you know what I mean? They run me ragged. Our house is nuts, just a riot every day. So no, like I said, just been messing about in the garden, and the weather's been good as well. So
yeah,
trying to do stuff with them every day.
Right, so obviously, Nicky, yourself and your teammates at Northampton resumed training this week. Just how much are you looking forward to this prospect of the potential playoffs, albeit behind closed doors? We're still waiting for some sort of clarity from the EFL as to what the scheduling will be and stuff like that. But are you looking forward to resuming the season?
Yeah, I think obviously I think is it Tuesday? There's the final decision for what's going on. I don't think it changes much for us in League Two. I think it's already been sort of done without being rubber stamps, and they're just waiting on League One so they can do it all together. And we're preparing for the playoffs as we've been told. So yeah, I think everyone's just waiting for that. That really, I think obviously they've all been voting. The club's been voting in League One to decide what's going on. You know, I think there's been some people who are upset about how they're going to finish it, and you know, I do feel for teams, especially for Tranmere. You know, if they do points per game, they get relegated. It's very harsh. But I've said to everyone, said what do you think about the whole situation? And I've just said the same thing. Look, it's something like this never going to probably happen again in our lifetime. It's just who could have foreseen this happening, and it's so unfortunate. And I don't think you're going to keep everyone happy. And if you can't, look, I think everyone would like to finish, but you know, I think it's not possible. The points per game is probably the best way of doing it. I don't think you should do null and void. I think you should, you know, reward success for a start off, you know. So yeah, it's probably the best way of doing it. And unfortunately for teams like Tranmere, it's going to be if it does go down and they do the same as League Two, it's going to be a bitter pill to swallow. But on the flip side, look, they can still, you know, Tranmere is a great club. They can come again if we do carry on. You know, there's a lot of clubs that are struggling at the moment, and I know for a stand from Bury last year, I wouldn't want anyone to go to the wall again. Which is if teams try and carry on and they have to start coming off furlough and paying players, which I think is one of the big stumbling blocks, then you're going to see more and more clubs in big trouble. And I don't want that. I don't want that for fans up and down the country.
So prior to the potential playoff semi-final with Cheltenham Town, as it will look, Just how would you assess the current season from a team perspective and from an individual perspective?
Yeah, it's been good. We set off for the start of the season, linking up with Keith again. I've been with Keith at Carlisle and we had a great relationship together. And obviously, as soon as I got the call to come to Northampton, I said to him that was it. I was on holiday actually. I said, look, yeah, of course, I'll give you my word. I'll be there straight away because I've got unbelievable memories from my time here before, so it was like a no-brainer for me, really. And yeah, look, as a season on the whole, I think it's been a bit of a rebuild for Keith at the start, and we always had obviously at the start of the season. I think everyone's aim is to get promoted, but it should be that should be everyone's aim, and ours was. Yeah. We knew it was going to be difficult. We knew there were some well-fancied teams in our league and some really big clubs, but we just said, look, we can hold our own. And we had a poor start in terms of results. We didn't start well, although we weren't playing too bad. It's just, look, we just weren't getting them wins, and then we managed to turn it around. We found a formation that suited us, and we've stuck to it ever since. And we've put ourselves in a great position. Obviously, we finished this season in the playoffs, but see, we're disappointed that we still felt that, I know when you've got 9 games to go, anything can happen. And we still felt we had a real good chance of nicking that top 3. We did. And I think the top 7 are all quite closely matched. Every time anyone we played in and around the top 7, all the games have been really, really close. And probably the ones that's why we've probably not been close to the top 3, because of fine margins. We've not won those games. But like I say, if you're in the top 7, you've done something right, and just been good for the club, because they've had a difficult few seasons. Since last time I was here, when we had that unbelievable team and end up winning the league, and unbelievable, fantastic. But then since then, it's been difficult for the club, and I think everyone knows Northampton's a really good club. So I think it's just good to put a smile back on fans' faces, really, and it's been good. I proper enjoyed it. We had a good cup run as well. We just losing out to Derby, but took them to a replay, which was good. So yeah, it's been another good season. I've really enjoyed it, and obviously there'll be no fans to watch us in the playoffs, but it'll be on Sky hopefully, so they can watch at home, and we've got a good chance to finish what we set out to do.
So you mentioned the gaffer Keith Curl there. He's been very impressed recently with the overall fitness of the players after returning to training this week. Is fitness something that's quite important to you?
Yeah, you got to keep yourself in shape. You know what I mean? I know I'm saying to you, look, I had a bit of a rest, but I'm not. It's not as if I'm like sat down and doing nothing. I think the modern day football, no matter what level you play at, you've got to keep fit. And we know going into we sort of knew that there's still a sniff of us playing playoffs, so we have to be ready, because the other 3 teams in the playoffs with us are all good sides, and I think it's going to come down to a fine margin. So we've got to make sure we're ready. And yeah, we come back this week, and he's been buzzing with us. And to be fair, first 2 days it was tough. I'm not going to lie. He put us through it a little bit, but not too much. I mean, in time scale, but we've had best part of 2 months off, so you can do all the running you want, but nothing. It's not the same as getting on the field and doing football-based training. So, but look, no, he's great with us. He's a brilliant guy. He knows what the lads need and whatever. He's good with whatever player. Some players need different to others, and he knows he's good with that. So he knows what lads want and stuff. So yeah, it's been good. I think the lads are just buzzing to be back. As a footballer, having that much time off, it's like I say, it was meant for me being home with the family, but obviously we love football, so yeah, everyone's buzzing to be back.
So Nicky, if I could, let's just take you back to where it all began for you, coming through the youth development system at Bury, making your senior debut as an 18-year-old, scoring the winner in that 1-0 win over Darlington. You must remember that game very well. Being a Bolton and working your way through the youth system at Bury, just how much of a buzz was it to score in your senior debut against Darlington?
Yeah, I think everyone knows. When everyone asks me what's one of your favourite memories of being a professional, that's one of the first things I say. Growing up as a kid, you want to be a professional footballer, and to be honest, the day was a blur. It went that quick. it was just a special moment. You know, all my family was there. I'm a local boy as well, so you know, it was just like a special day, and to score in your football league debut, score the winner. You know, there's nothing much more special than that. So, yeah, I cherish it. It's anyone that asks me, I tell them. If I could, I've got a picture at home and for the celebration that I scored, and it's like I still look back now and think, wow. And I'm not. It's weird because I'm not really known for scoring goals, but that day I scored the winner. So it's just some things are written, you know, and honestly, it was, like I say, one of the best memories I've had.
Just how difficult was it? Obviously, you came through the youth system at Bury. Just how difficult was it to sort of distance yourself away from being one of the boys to actually taking football seriously and making your professional debut and scoring on your debut and stuff like that?
Yeah. You know, I think everyone who knows me, I've been in a bit of bother over the years or whatever, and you know, sometimes I've overstepped the mark. Yeah. Like I say, I think it's I think everyone knows I've been in a bit of bother over the years. Like I say, you know, so when you're at that young age, you've got to. I think it got to the point where, you know, Chris Casper was my youth team boss, and then obviously he went into the first team, and he kept telling me, kept banging the drum. Listen, it doesn't matter if you've got ability, you've got to be disciplined, you've got to be dedicated. And like I say, you know, it can sometimes it's a fine line. You know, from where I'm from, you know, it's a tough place to grow up, and you can end up on the wrong side of the track, shall we say? But you know, I always knew that I wanted to be a professional footballer. So you know, like my brother, my dad, you know, my mum, everyone was telling me, listen, don't throw this opportunity away. You've got a real chance to make something of your life. And growing up, I always wanted to be a professional footballer. So I just sort of said, right, this is it. And that year I came back. I thought, right, this is my chance here, and I'm going to get in the first team. And you know, I worked hard, and thankfully to Chris, you know, I speak. Chris Casper's a good friend of mine, and thankfully he gave me a chance to make my mark in football. And you know, I didn't look back. I took the opportunity, and you know, just gone on from there really. But yeah, like I say, you've got to be ready.
Just speaking about Chris there, obviously after scoring your debut, you really impressed Chris, who summed your game up expertly really after the game, as he quoted. I made up for young Nicky Adams. He's worked really hard on his game. He's run himself into the ground and took his goal really well. That just about sums your game up, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think, you know, like I say, going back, I did that summer. I came back and I was super fit because, you know, even the people who are at the top, you know, you listen to them. If talent only takes you so far, you've got to work hard. And I sort of needed to get that, and I needed the kick up the backside, and people telling me stop messing about outside of football, take it seriously because you've got an opportunity. Because if I didn't, you know, that could have been it. Who knows where I could have been if you know, you see so many talented players that don't make it. So I just needed. I knew I needed to, you know, to knuckle down and give it my best opportunity. And you know, listen, I've always had that confidence that I know I can do it on the pitch, but you've got to have both sides. You can't be just think you can get so far with just talent because you'll get found out. So yeah, like I say, that summer I worked all summer. I was in the gym, making myself. I'm not the biggest of lads, but I was just trying to make myself a little bit stronger because when you're coming up against men, if you're not, they just brush you off. So I just thought, right, this is my chance, and I'm going to take it. And like I say, yeah, Chris was brilliant, gave me that opportunity, and went from strength to strength really.
A lot of players tell me that family is very important. I know that your family is fully behind you. They have been since day one. I actually remember you used to go to your uncle's barbershop on Songmore Road, and he used to be obsessed. As soon as I went in at say 9 a.m, he said, "Nicky's got a game." He was just so excited about you playing, and he just buzzed off it, and it was brilliant to see.
Yeah, our Pete's, you know, I'm close with our Pete. You know what? He follows me up and down the country. He comes to so many games. Like him, my uncle Frank, you know, obviously they with my dad and stuff. They follow me up and down. My uncle Steve, they're honestly, they come everywhere, wherever they can come. Obviously last year at Bury, they was there every week, you know, because it's local. But yeah, like I say, we're a very close family. And I think everyone knows what I'm like. I'm big on my family, so yeah. it makes me proud that they get proper excited to come see me play.
So in your final season at Bury, obviously the first time around, you found some great form in front of goal, scoring 12 goals in that season. You picked up the Young Player of the Year award. A real standout season for you, and one that earned you a move to Leicester City in the end. Despite you turning down a new deal at Gig Lane, just what was it that lured you to Leicester City in the end?
I just look, the first look at the size of the club. It was, I think it was what happened was at the end of the season. I think everyone knew, I'm a young lad, 20-year-old lad or whatever, or 20. What might be? Well, it's that far. It's that long ago. I forgot. I might have been 21 then, but I think I just got from making my debut at 18. The next 2 or 3 years, it was just all about developing. I just wanted to go from playing more games, and it got to that year, and then Alan Neil came in as manager, and he just gave me that freedom. He just went, just go and play. I played a number 10 role. He said, go and play, go and express yourself, go on to that next level. Now you prove that you can play in the league, but go and show everyone that you can be one of the best young players in the league. So that's what I did really, and I just went out there, and I thought, this is my opportunity to go on to the next level and see how far I can get in football. Plus, going back to when I made my debut, I was on like say 45 quid a week, 15 quid bus pass, and people go, no chance. I'm like, I'm telling you now, I used to have to borrow money off my mum and dad.
Wow.
Like just honestly, like people, and then the year when I signed my first pro deal, it was 150 quid. So it's like people, being a professional footballer, but I come through the hard way. I didn't have no money when I was that age, and I'd already had a kid, so that was my eldest girl, Kira. She was my motivation. I thought, I've got a kid. I need to do, I need to change my life, so to give her the best life I can. That year I just basically used that as my motivation in terms of just go out there and give it your all. Because look, like I say, I knew I had the ability to play, and I just proper got my head down, went out there and did what I had to do. And it was like I say, it was a brilliant season for me. But I played with some great lads and some good players. And then I was fortunate enough to get there and move to Leicester City. But it was mad. Like I went from playing for Bury, and then nearly called me and I went, look, we're going to sell you. So, and I was like, right, and it was just within 3 or 4 days I had all these big clubs, and I was like, wow, this is I had a bit of a taste of that year where we had Leeds away in the cup, and Norwich and Southampton and places like that, and I thought, wow, I'd love to play at places like this every week, doing really well in them games as a young lad. So I just thought, and then Nilly was class. He was like, look, I won't even let you sign a new deal here. I want you go and better yourself. Go and learn go to a big club. You deserve it. And that was it really. And then went to Leicester, met Nigel Pearson, spoke to other clubs as well. But as soon as I met Nigel and went to Leicester and they showed me around, I was like, wow, this is special.
So during those 5 years at Bury, it must have been a real eye opener as to how well you've actually been playing and how fast you've developed as a player. And not just that, you went on to represent Wales 5 times at under 21 level as well. That must have been a great experience.
Yeah, unbelievable experience. Everyone asked me. My dad found some pictures recently and sent them to me. And I'm on a team photo with like Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey and people like that. And you forget, like when you're young, like I say, it's such a long time ago. You forget that you played like. To be fair, obviously Bale went up and played in the first team. He didn't bother with us small fish. Then he just he trained with us a few times and went up to the. But that was him. Went next thing he's in the Prem and Real Madrid. So, but yeah, like I said, just playing on an international stage against some top teams. Playing against England on a few occasions as well. Playing with some unbelievable players, like I say, Aaron Ramsey, Joe Allen, people like that. Playing with some top players. So I always remember that, and when people ask me, they go, "Wow, what was it like?" And I said, I just played with them as if that was it. I was playing. I knew how good they was, but I knew I was a decent player as well, so I enjoyed playing with them. You can't go into them environments and think, "Oh, I'm not good enough to play with these." You've got to go in there and show them that you can actually play. And it was, we had a really good side, that Wales team, really good, some really good players. I think if I went through all the team, a lot of the lads have had really good careers. And then, like I say, we lost in the qualifier to England 5-4 over 2 legs. But if you go through their team, top side as well, all of them Premier League players. So yeah, it's, like I say, I've had some really good experiences, especially as a young lad as well. So yeah, some top times.
You are quite a confident lad anyway, but just how much confidence did it give you representing Wales and sealing that move to Leicester City? You must have been so confident at that part of your career. I know at Leicester it was sort of difficult to force your way into the team, any consistent football. Just how difficult was it to stamp your authority at Leicester City and make yourself a first team regular?
I went, like I said, I went from Bury, like I said, great club, but you go into a Leicester who's a giant. Went there and it was like a little bit over. I was like, wow, like overawed a little bit when I first went. So when I first got there, you're playing with all these really good players who they played in the Championship for a long time. Some of them played in the Premier League, and I went there and I was thinking, right, I'm just going to learn my trade at the start. But then, obviously, the way I am, I believed in myself, and I was like, no, I can play. I can play with these boys.
Yeah.
And at the time, we was in League One because they'd just been relegated. So I go into that environment, and to be fair, I loved it straight away. It was everything about it was top class. I didn't like I said, I didn't play every week, but I think I played like nearly 40 games in the 2 years that I was there, and made 40 appearances and playing with some really good footballers. So that experience for me, I always look back and think that's why I probably played so long in the game and played at the level I have, because going to learn off them players, and going playing with some top players, and I'm still friends with a lot of them now. League One, we got promoted in my first season. Playing, I think I played 18 games or whatever, and it was just like I've gone from Bury to this, and it's like wow, this is like frightening. You go and playing in front of 25,000-30,000 people every week, or you're involved, and it's like, this is brilliant. And to be fair, in League One, the team we had in the squad was miles too good for the league. I think we lost not even a handful of games in winning the league. So that was great, going from Bury as a young lad and then being part of a promotion-winning team at Leicester City was class for me. And just riding high, really. And then obviously the second season, I went away that summer because I felt like, look, going into the Championship now and I'm at this club, I've got to really work at the game. Really got to go for it, because the Championship's another step up completely. And I did that, and Nigel was impressed with me, and he ended up playing me in the Championship. And played some games in the Championship, and that's as a young kid, you want to play in the Premier League, but to play in the Championship is a top achievement. There's so many good, the Championship's probably top 10 leagues in the world. So for me to play in the Championship and play at that level, it's special, and playing some big games as well. And like I say, I wanted to go and play at them top stadiums and play against some of the best players. So yeah, like I said, unbelievable experience, and probably it stood me in great stead for the rest of my career.
So after spells in and out of the team at Leicester, you enjoyed some loan spells at Rochdale and Leyton Orient in a quest to get some game time under your belt. Just how did you find those clubs on loan during that spell?
Yeah, well, I went to Rochdale, and it was a bit of a weird one. It started, I scored on my debut class, and then I think 2 games later, I split my head open.
Wow.
I think it was Chester away. So it might have been a few games in anyway, and obviously we was in a promotion push with Rochdale, and Illy and Flicker, who were 2 top guys. I've worked with them on a few occasions, really good guys. But so when I went there, it was weird because it was a bit. I'd gone there to get a month or 2 months worth of games in, and if we carried on, if Leicester didn't want me back, I was going to stay to the end of the season to try helping with the promotion push. But I split my head open, and it was weird. I ended up going back, because my head was a mess. Honestly, just instead of me. I couldn't even open my eyes. Little girl didn't even want to look at me. Well, she don't want to look at me now, but at the time she was probably thinking, "But Jesus Christ, Dad, look at the state." Yeah.
So returning to Leicester City briefly, you enjoyed a brief spell at Brentford before rejoining Rochdale full time. Just how was it to be back at Rochdale playing regular football again? Is it fair to say that it gave you a newfound confidence and reignited your career at Rochdale, actually joining them full time?
Yeah, I think when I went to Brentford, it was sort of at the time, it was a rush one. And I look back at it now, and I'd not done a pre-season, and I went there on like a loan view to a permanent. Having just the season before, like I say, I went on loan to Leyton Orient to get some games, did really well, and then went back to Leicester, and in a playoff push in the Championship. So I sort of but at the end of that, I got injured. I'd done my knee, so I had to have an operation, which was a nightmare because the timing wise, obviously, we're in the playoffs. I couldn't get it done till after the playoffs had finished. By the time I come back, pre-season had started. I couldn't even join in pre-season, and I'd probably done about 2 weeks training, if that. So, doing that, it's like, I think anyone that will tell you it's difficult to go into a good side and try and get in the first team straight away. And I just wasn't fit. So, like I said, a really good club, Brentford, as well. I was disappointed because when I went there, I didn't really do myself justice in terms of I know I can perform. So, like I say, a difficult one. So I knew that to get back playing, I had to go somewhere comfortable. And obviously, I've been to Rochdale before. So I ended up going to Rochdale with Illy and Flicker again, back in League One, because I always said like I wanted to try and play as high as I could. And I thought, right, it's a perfect place to go and play again. It was weird actually because Alan Mill was trying to get me back to Bury to go there. He just couldn't get it over the line. He couldn't get it done. And obviously it was between Rochdale and obviously family was up north as well. So I said, look, I've been away for a bit now. I want to get home. Want to get back playing football week in, week out. You'll play and try and kick on again. So I went to, and we had a great season that year. We just missed out on the playoffs. But yeah, I ended up doing well. We had a good side though, really good side. I think we I don't know whether we finished 7th or 8th, but we just missed out on the playoffs. So yeah, disappointed really because we just ran the team at the wrong time last week. We was in the, we had Bournemouth on the last game of the season, but we couldn't catch them because their goal difference was miles ahead of ours. So yeah, disappointed really because like I said, we had a real. I reckon if we got out, should have had a real good chance.
So just how were Keith Hill and David Flitcroft like to work with? Obviously, two Bolton lads, very passionate about the game. They both say it like it is, much like yourself. Sorry. They must have been great to work for.
Two top guys. Like I say, I've known them a long time. I've played with Flicker, so but I've known Flicker since I was a young kid.
Yeah.
Their family and my family have known each other through the years. So yeah, I get on with Flicker really well, and he was when I was going, when I obviously come back from Brentford after that little spell and leaving Leicester, he was like sort of a big part of getting me to Rochdale because he's like, look, come play games, come here, play some games, get back to what you can do. I knew they played good football because that's what they're known for. And like I said, Keith as well. Keith's a top guy, and the records speak for themselves in football. So yeah, it was a no-brainer for me. Obviously, they left at the end of that season, which was they couldn't turn that opportunity down at Barnsley. So when they left, we missed them that season after.
Obviously, a bit more about Keith and David. Obviously, you've known them so long. Just obviously being a Bolton lad, how do you think they've done at Bolton since taking over?
Yeah, I still speak to them quite a bit, because I've been down to the training ground early in the season.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing my B license and that, so I just wanted to, I was asking them basically like if I need to do anything here, and they was spot on. Couldn't do enough anything I needed. They was there to help. So yeah, top guys, and like I say, it's been difficult for them. I think they've gone into Bolton in a difficult time. Like it was always going to be backs against the wall, and I think I'm hoping that they get another chance to show what they're really about next season, because I think look, I don't think anyone that was going in this season, I think they would have found it difficult in the circumstances. -12. A lot of they'd already started the season on. I don't know how many games had gone, but they were probably 5, 6, 7 games behind before they even took over or whatever. Because obviously Bolton was having to play the young boys who, did really well. But it becomes difficult because young boys, brilliant. They did really well, but for them to come in straight away in a men's environment against a team, they can burn out real fast. And I think that's what sort of happened. And they had to come in and they had to sign players straight away. It just thought, they've had they came in and no time to properly prepare for it. And what, I've been to a couple of games. I think they've been really unlucky in games that they've played. It's difficult when you're at the bottom. It is. So if they get that opportunity again next year, I think it's looking more likely that they're going to be relegated to League Two. But why not give them a chance to go and rebuild it? I think, and the record in League Two is brilliant. So and I think you'd see, I've got a lot of friends and family that are Bolton fans, they're big Bolton fans. So I've told them, I said I think you get a true reflection of how they do next season when they can build their own team and get going. Because, like I say, you could have probably put Pep Guardiola in charge and it'd been difficult. It doesn't matter who you are when you're -12 and you've had to play kids who for a few games who, like you say, have done really well, but they can't play every week. It's not possible for them to do that. There was always going to be backs against the wall, and they've won games, and I don't know. I wouldn't have thought, if they was on a level playing field. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but I reckon they'd be off bottom. So it was always going to be difficult. And like I say, hopefully they'll get the opportunity to show what they're really about next season.
Speaking of your time at Rochdale, it was quite a sad end, wasn't it? The club were relegated to League Two as you moved to Carlisle Town. Just how was it moving away from your family, making the trip down south after failing to really settle at Brentford? Was there a unique feel about being at Brentford in what seemed to be about what seemed to be a great group of lads down there?
Yeah, Crawley was a great move for me, and the season just before that was probably the most difficult one I've had in terms of, we had a really young side, Keith and Flicker left, and it just didn't. We just from start we just didn't. I don't think we recruited well enough, if I'm being honest. We lost a lot of players. We were probably playing decent football. We were renowned for playing good football, but we just didn't have that. We didn't have what we had before. We'd lost a few players, and it was a tough season. But on a personal note, I did really well. Scored some goals. Set quite a few up. So I sort of knew at the end of the season, even though we'd been relegated, I was out of contract. I think I've done well on a personal note. I'm probably going to get a decent move, and at the time, it was strange because like my agent phoned me at the time. He's like, Crawley, and I was like, Crawley. I said, that's like near France, isn't it? He's like, and he was like, yeah, and he was like, look, they're having it, and at that time, Crawley was a team on the up. They were well backed. The chairman, when I went down there, he was a really good guy, and he'd obviously got him from non-league into the league. So I was like, yeah, let's go down. And the manager at the time was Sean O'Driscoll. So went down there, and he was class. And like the team we had, went down there. It was funny actually because I was in the car park ready to sign, and I had 2 Northern clubs phone my agent saying League One, and I was like,
yeah.
But I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to. I said, no, I'm not driving back up the M6. I said, I'm basically signing here on the dotted line. It's the way I am. If I give someone my word, I'm going to sign. So signed down there, and you know what? Like, I thought I needed to prove it to myself really, because I went to Brentford on loan and it hadn't worked out, and because I sort of knew it wasn't me. I wasn't fully fit. I'm not giving my what I'm capable of doing. So I thought, right, this is another opportunity. I don't want people just thinking I'm an home bird. I can go anywhere and play football. It doesn't matter. So yeah, I went down there, and it was strange, really, because the manager left after like 6 weeks. He gone. He got an opportunity to go Nottingham Forest, and he can't turn that down. So I was like, I hope someone comes in here that's gonna like me, because I'm away from home. I was on my own. I went down there on my own, away from my kids and stuff. So, but you know what? In looking back on it, it's probably one of the best things I've ever done, because it sort of made me grow up, into a bit of a man. Because look, I'm the class clown. I mess about all the time. But I think when you're down there on your own and you've got right, this is it. I ain't got anyone there to look after me. I ain't got my mum to wash this for me or whatever. Got to cook, clean, got to look after yourself. So, I went down there, and you know what? Crawley's a great little family club, brilliant. Had some unbelievable time down there, and they put me sort of back on the map. In terms of, I had clubs after me again that were, big clubs again. So like I said, Richie Barker was the manager. What a brilliant guy, top coach. And he started to get the best out of me again, and just went from strength to strength.
So life after Crawley resulted in a brief spell at Rotherham United before rejoining your boyhood club in Bury during the 2014-15 season. Just how different were things at Bury the second time around, Nicky?
You know what? Like, obviously, like I say, it was strange. I was at Crawley, got to move to Rotherham, and I'm thinking, right, brilliant, hunky dory, like great club, Rotherham. Enjoyed it. They're part of another. We end up getting promoted at the end, but I missed out on the playoffs and Wembley because fell out with Big Steve. So, but we'll leave that one there. But so I knew straight away. I was like, I was going to leave. If the way I am, if I fall out with someone and they've upset me, then I won't really. It's hard to build that relationship back up. So I thought, right, where can I go again? To I'm playing good football. I'm at a point in my career where I need to carry on doing well. Flicker was Bury manager, and as soon as he phoned me, he was like, "Look, this is the project." It was a no-brainer. I had other teams down south. My agent was like, "These want you. These will pay you this," and I'm like, "Look, for the sake of money, it's not about money. That obviously it's not life-changing money for a start. I said, look, I believe in this project at Bury. Went there with Flicker, and look, he assembled a great side, and that like I say, another great memory. We went on to get promoted, and it was a great season, unbelievable. Like what a year we had there.
So after making 38 appearances for the club that season, you were transfer listed at the end of the season. Just how would you assess that particular campaign and what went on at the end of the season?
Depends what I'm allowed to say, really. Yeah, look, like I say, we've just been promoted, playing some unbelievable football, great team. In my opinion, we should have won the league. We didn't, but we got the job done. We got promoted. But things happen. Things go on behind the scenes, and I think it wasn't just a shock to me. It was a shock to everyone that I was leaving. And look, me and Flicker, we get on great. We speak all the time, and I think it was a difficult decision for him to sort of say, look, I found a new club, and I know it was because I was in that room with him, and I know it was difficult. But like I say, I've got so much respect for him, and if things happen that's something, if something's brought down, then you've got to you just got to respect what happens, and just get on with it. And when I left the room, the first thing I thought of, right, all right, I'll crack on again. I'll prove he's wrong. I didn't have to prove Flicker wrong, because I know that, like I say, I've spoken to him. I speak to him all the time or whatever, so, and we're good friends. So I just thought I had that bit between my teeth of, right, that's it now. I'm just gonna keep going from strength to strength. I'm not gonna listen to anyone else or let anyone derail me. I'm just gonna crack on and just do that. And you know, obviously, I was upset leaving. Didn't really want to leave, but you know, look, like I say, I've got to respect people's decisions, and that's just the way it was.
So after leaving Bury for a second time, you decided to move down south again, joining Northampton Town, making 39 appearances in the 2015-16 season. Just how was this season from your perspective, despite leaving Northampton at the end of the season?
Again, unbelievable season. Like, you know, we won the league. You know, I think we go down that year. What a team we had. You know, we'll probably go down in history as one of the best teams to play in League Two. You know, we were a special team. You know, we had. I think it was well documented with the problems that we had off the field, in terms of, you know, we weren't getting paid and stuff. But it was just a special team, and you know, that some of the games that year, I still, you know, I still see highlights of games and go back to them games, and you know, Bukesy spoke about it when he was on, and just a special team, special moments, special memories. Can't speak highly enough of that year, and it was obviously strange because obviously I knew Chris and Alan was going to leave to a big club, and then, like I say, it was deja vu again for me. You know, just played a big part in getting promoted. A new manager comes in with different plans, and you're on your way again. But look, everything happens for a reason, don't it? So look, like I say, I respect people. You know, if people have different plans and I'm not part of them, or they don't like sort of the way I go about the business, or but to be honest, it weren't really in them terms. It was more of, you know, the new manager was coming in. He had his own sort of way of doing things. You know, was I prepared to move closer to Northampton? It wasn't possible. I couldn't do that. You know, I had two children back in the northwest that I had, you know, majority of the time. So I had to come home. I couldn't live in Northampton all the time, and that was a big stumbling block. And not the relationship I had with Chris and Alan. So, you know, but like I say, I respect everyone's way they do things, and you know, that's history. So yeah, I was on the move again, and League One was evading me.
It must have been great to rekindle your friendship with Buke. So obviously playing with each other at Bury and then joining up again in Northampton. You used to live together in Northampton. Just how good was it to see Bukes again and on and off the pitch continue that friendship?
Yeah, of course. Like I say, I've come through with Bukesy as a young kid. Obviously, he's older than me, but when I would come in the dressing room, he's one of the main boys who looked after all the young lads. So, you know, we spent a lot of time together. You know, I played with Dave a long time in the career, and then obviously I knew he was going to Northampton. You know, Alan Hill, you know, he sort of got us both down there. You know, told Chris to sign us. And yeah, you know, like I say, that group of people was just special. You know, I travelled in with Bukes and Joe Byram. You know, some of the laughs that we had that year. Even when we weren't getting paid, we just kept each other going, and it just you know, like I can't speak highly enough for that team and that group of lads. And yeah, live with Bukes as well. So yeah, and obviously when I was leaving, it was disappointing because, like I say, I was leaving again. And it was like, people are going to think I'm a bad egg here. I've been promoted the last 2 years, and then part of playing at Rotherham as well, part of another promotion team. And the last 3 seasons, every time I've gone up with the team, I've moved on. So I'm thinking, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, people are just going to think I'm a bad egg. But that weren't the case. You know, I think everyone who speaks with my teammates, I think maybe just I've sort of learned now. Sometimes there's a time and a place to say things, and sometimes you have to keep your mouth shut as well, which I've not been fond of doing over the years. But like I say, when you get older, you learn to control that.
So from Northampton, you made the move up to Carlisle United, where you seem to really enjoy your football again, producing some great standout performances, some fantastic goals, may I add.
Yeah, strange really, because like I say, I ain't known for goals. I'm more for, obviously, I like to set people up. But that year, do you know, it just, I think, you know, leaving Northampton, it was, like I say, it was strange again. But obviously, as soon as I met Keith and I knew he's, you know, went up to Carlisle, and I always play, every time I played at Carlisle, I always thought, wow, it's a big club. It's a sleeping giant. You know, a great atmosphere. You know, they're well supported up there, and I was buzzing to go up there really. And as soon as I got there, it was a perfect fit for me. You know, we had a really good side, really good side. You know, like I say, Keith was top class and all his staff. And that year was just that year I'd want to probably say I played some of my best football in like that 3 years probably from the Bury, Northampton, Carlisle. I was riding the crest of a wave. Like it was just like going from strength to strength and just playing some really good football, some really good players as well. So I'm fortunate in that sense of I was in some really good sides. But you had some of the goals I scored, and I scored some really nice goals, and I was like, where have I just pulled that one from? I'm not really known for them, but yeah, it just we fell at the final hurdle in the playoffs, and I was gutted really because I really thought we could have done it. But when we went into the playoffs, we had probably 4 of our starting 11 injured. Mike Jones got injured, one of our best players. He's one of my best friends, Jonah. But I knew like he was a big miss for us, really big miss. Big Jabbo Abiri, another big miss. We sold Charlie Wyke in January. Jason Kennedy injured. So you're going into the playoff games with Exeter and Luton and Blackpool who are full strength. You're thinking we're going to have to be on it to try and beat these teams. You know what? We nearly pulled it off, and like I said, that's without some of our best players playing. And I really think if we'd have had them boys there, we would have done it. And like I said, for a season for me personally, where I went on to get so many accolades and stuff, and team of the years and or whatever, it was just a bit of pill to swallow at the end of it. I was devastated, and like I say, so close but so far.
You left quite an impression with the Carlisle United fans as well. I spoke to George Glendon last week, a former Carlisle player, and he, as soon as I mentioned your name, I was chatting to you this week. He was like, the Carlisle fans absolutely adored you.
Yeah, honestly, I can't speak highly enough of Carlisle United. It's a wonderful club. Like I went up there, like when we played Exeter and the people was like, "Wow, they get some good crowds up there." And I says, "Yeah," I said, "They're a big club." I'm sure Exeter was like 13,000 in the playoff, and Exeter obviously didn't really bring that many because of where it was. So like games like that, just full houses. It's not full houses, but proper good atmosphere, support as well. And like I say, I played some of my best football up there. And then obviously the year after, where I was thinking, we had a bit of a slower start the season after, but we really started ticking along nicely, getting back in the playoffs. And it was like literally going from I'm thinking right, this is the year, this is it, we're going to do it, and then boom, within a split second, my season's over. And never kicked a ball for Carlisle again, and it was sad. I was gutted to leave, but obviously I didn't think I was going to leave, to be honest. But like I say, I respect people's decisions, and obviously it was a difficult one because obviously like Keith was leaving as well. So when Keith was leaving, they didn't have a manager, and the people at the club, they did offer me a contract, and I was sort of saying, yeah, it was. Listen, I think some people got it misinterpreted, like, or turn this money down. Come on, like playing League Two, we're not on millions. If they've seen my contract offers, they just, what I mean. It's nothing to shout about. You know what I mean? So, I think just the most disappointing thing for me was it took so long for him to offer me a deal. In terms of for 18 months, I'd done so well, and I was like, kept saying, "Are you going to sign me again?" And I'll be honest with you, in looking back at it, I can see where they were coming from. I just snapped my cruciate and everything in my knee was completely done. I ruptured everything in my knee, so they're probably thinking at 31, can we afford to give this lad a contract? And there was something about it, And like I said, they did offer me a deal, but it was just difficult because obviously Keith had left. I didn't know who the manager was, and I was like, right. And then like as soon as Louis got the Bury job, Louis is a good friend of mine, and the way I'm a loyal lad. If I give someone my word, I ain't going back on it. And I told Louis straight away because I was like, look, Louis. He's like, look, don't worry about your knee. I know you've done all your rehab. John Lucas and Nick Meese, I did my rehab at Wigan with them, and they was brilliant. I can't they got me back to like probably the fittest I've ever been. So look, as soon as Louis had seen all the work I'd done, and he said, don't worry about your knee, just come and I want you to play and be a big part of. We've got big plans to get this club back into League One, and that was it really. And like I say, sad leaving Carlisle because it was weird. I'm leaving one club that I have a lot of affection for another club that I've had, I've got so much. It's weird. Two great clubs that I hold dear to my heart. So it was a proper difficult decision, but one that I had to make in the end. And who knows in the future? You never know. I could end up back at Carlisle. Who knows? I've had quite a few clubs, so you never know. But when I go back there, it's brilliant. I went back there last year, and this year when we played, and the fans, they clapped me off the pitch. So for me personally, that's just a nice feeling to have.
I mentioned some of those fantastic goals you scored. I managed to pick one out for you here. This particular one, I guess, just have a look at this one.
Newport, is it? That was a mad day because we needed to win that game to sort of cement that playoff place. And little 1-2 with Devs and managed to put it in the top corner nicely. So yeah, mad. Just like I said, everything I did that year, I just felt like I was just playing really good football, and just like I say, I've always believed in myself. But it was just like I say, unbelievable memories. But I always have that in the back of my mind, the playoff game. Just like what could have been.
So joining Bury now for a third time, Nicky. Let's just take you back to that memorable 2018-19 season. What a season it was. Stealing promotion to League One, reaching the semi-finals of the EFL Trophy. That was a journey in itself, really. But what a record-breaking season. A very talented bunch of players and some great banter in the dressing room, I imagine.
Yeah, again, similar to the Northampton one, I can't. What we went through off the pitch, I think people, I might even write about it one day. But what a group of lads, what a group of players, and similar to the Northampton team, people always ask me who'd win that game, and I'd be like, could be 7-all. Like that, I would like to see that game. I would have liked to see that game. That'd be two unbelievable teams going at it, and I've been fortunate to be part of both of them. So, going with what it was with Bury, I think the way we played, after one, Louis, he just Louis was like, look, we're going to play total football. We ain't changing for no one. We're going out there and we're going to absolutely pop it. And we did from day one, and Louis recruited some good lads, some really good players. And we go down in history again as one of the best teams to get promoted from League Two. Some special players in that team. And like I say, leaving Carlisle was difficult for me, but I went back to my boyhood club who gave me a chance in football, and to help captain them to promotion along with the Downs. It's a memory that I'll never forget. Just what a special group of lads. Like every day, I was with Don Telford last week, and we were talking about it. And I love him to bits. I used to batter him every day, but we've got a little bit about him. But I used to batter him every day. But the dressing room just top laughs. We didn't get paid for nearly 4 months, and we just sort of said, look, we're a good side. Let's go and make history, and we done that. And it's I'm gutted what's happened with the club, because like I say, I'm a local lad, and I've seen that. I know quite a few of the fans. They're hurting. There's no team to watch. It's not nice. But yeah, special memory for me, and I've still got. I've got all the photos and that from last year, and with my family on the pitch at the end. I can't speak highly enough of it. For me as a local lad to go and captain your local team to promotion, special. And I look back on that when I'm finished and think, wow.
I think even promotion aside, just a cup run on its own was fantastic. It was so disappointing to lose the semi-final to Portsmouth, but what a cup run it was with a great bunch of young players who came through the early rounds. Obviously, a bit more experienced side towards the latter end of the tournament, but does that stick in the memory as well, the EFL Cup run?
Yeah, of course. Like you know what I just think that we set out at the start of the season. Louis was brilliant. It was his first proper job in football, him and Shuey and all his staff. But it's from day one. He's like, lads, we'll go and try and win whatever we can. Let's go and try and get big cup runs. Let's go and play at these big places. And I think even pre-season, we drew 0-0 with Liverpool in pre. I know it's pre-season, but they had like quite a good side out. Like they had all the big dog, Van Dijk and them played. Even then, we're going out like, right, let's see what we can do against these boys. And people might think, oh, you're on about it's pre-season, but it don't matter. We just set out to like test ourselves against the best and whoever we played from a higher league. And like we knew, obviously, you're going into that cup, and it's like eventually you're going to start playing League One teams. And we said we want to get promoted and we want to be in that league. So in that cup run, we lost to Pompey in the end, who ended up winning it. And you know what, we killed ourselves really because we missed chances first half. I think if we take them, it's a different game. But fair play, Pompey a good side. But that on the way to that cup run, we beat Fleetwood, Oxford, Accrington. We beat some really good League One sides who were doing well in the league. So Laurie was like, look, why can't we? Let's whoever we play, let's go out there and win. And yeah, it was good. Like I said, unbelievable memories. To be fair, Louis said he was resting me in them games, but a few of our lads had the checker trade-itis on the Monday, so I had to play. I played most of them. So, but yeah, no, like I say, brilliant times.
So just what was Ryan Lowe like to work with? Obviously a former player and assistant manager. It must have been such a buzz at that night against Tranmere to seal promotion.
Oh, incredible. Like, it's mad, isn't it? The 2 times I've been promoted at Bury, both at Tranmere. You can't write it. It's nuts. But, like Louis, and Louis, a former Tranmere player. It's just some things are mad, some things are written. And that's just the way it is. But yeah, going to like Louis as a manager, can't speak highly enough of him. Like he was a friend of mine anyway, and a teammate. We've been promoted together. Had some unbelievable times, and he's just a top guy. Like I say, when I dominate and doubting you, and sometimes some other managers are phoning me and like I was thinking, you must think I'm finished, like for what you're offering there. But yeah, it looks. He was just, like I say, I don't even really know what to say about him. I speak that highly of him, and it's no surprise. I knew when he went to Plymouth, I knew they'd get promoted because of the way he is. He's, I think he's got a big future ahead of him. He's got a knack of, he knows what players need and want. I think that's what good managers need to have. He's got Shuey as his number 2, another class guy. They're similar to like Chris and Nilly. They've just got that good bond together, and they know what people want. They know what way they want to play. So yeah, I can see him kicking on, going from strength to strength. And I've been fortunate being in my last 3 managers of Chris. I'm back with Keith again now, and Louis, 3 top guys, and I hold them all in such high regard.
In terms of banter, I know you're quite a fan of having a laugh with the lads. Just talk us through that dressing room at Bury after winning promotion, the likes of Danny Mayer, Dom Telford, Danzy, etc. It must have been up there as one of the best seasons of your career, and that moment where the final whistle blew and you knew you were getting promoted.
Yeah, class. Like, we knew what we set out to do. It was, me and Dom was on about it the other day when I was speaking to him, and just like every day was like you walk into the dressing room and he's a little pest, and just not him. Nicky Maynard, like you say, Danzy, Owen O'Connell. I can go on all day. Like Danny, I love Danny to bits, but he's a bit of a boring old man. He sulks and he moans, and but like I said, I love him to bits. And like, honestly, we had the whole group as a whole, like just a top set of lads. And I think Tranmere was funny because we only needed a point, obviously, with 2 games to go, and it was like, right, we've been known for obviously total football, and I was like, lads, we just stay in the game, no mistakes. We know we'll always score. But I remember saying, I was like, lads, no messing about. The last 10 minutes, I am putting that ball over that stand and wasting as much time as possible. I ain't trying to play. And then I've been doing my coaching badges this year with Caelan Lavery, and Lavs always looks at me and laughs. He goes, you know what? He said, it's mad, isn't it? Like, I was on for a pass 10 yards away, and you just kept booting it into the stand, and I was like, I told you. I said, I'm not. We've done the job. Who's going to remember the last 10 minutes at Tranmere where I'm volleying balls into the river, Birkenhead River or whatever it is over there. Who's going to remember? No one's going to remember that. I said the job's done. They'll remember how good we was over the season, and we were just laughing about it. So yeah, it's like, as soon as that final whistle went, it was like wow. I mean, Joe Murphy made 2 point blank saves as well, and you're sort of thinking, and you know, we had chances, and I'm thinking, oh no, we're missing chances here. And then obviously one went in. It's like right, that's it. Now job done. No messing about. But yeah, special night. You know, especially in front of all our fans as well. They packed the away end out. You know, I've still got videos on my phone and pictures, and just unbelievable. People's families were there, and you know, people seeing us on Sky. Like I said, just memories that'll live with me forever and a lifetime. And we done the job, and then obviously I got in a bit of trouble that week, so I went missing for a few days. The missus weren't very happy with me.
Now, obviously, we all know what came next with the club's stability declining week by week in the build-up to the 2019-2020 season, which culminated in the club's expulsion in the end, which resulted in players not getting paid for months, despite still training and stuff, putting their efforts in on the pitch. Just how difficult was that period of where you knew you weren't getting paid for the first couple of months?
Tough, yeah, very tough. I think it's well documented. You know, I think people seen on Sky Sports and people seeing people on you know, when Stevie Dawson was on TalkSport. I think a few people at first, like, they think, oh, footballers, you're well off, you've got loads of money. Look, we earn a good living, but we're not millionaires. We're not Premier League players. You know, a lot of us are. You know, we have mortgages to pay, and we know our career's not long, so we have to try and get things paid off as quick as we can. You know, and we have a lot of the money like tied up in bills to pay. You know, it's not as if we've got loads of money spare. I think, and obviously, look, you know, people who know, like intelligent people, knew what was going on. But you know, you get the odd person, oh, what's up with them? You've got loads of money. That's not the case at all. And it's a worrying time. You know, Stevie was genuinely worried about losing his house. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He had a missus and kids, and it was just a scary time. You know, people not being able to, people needing money. You know, what you like. That's why I think with Louis as well. I think what happened to him off the pitch this year was standing in such good stead because what he had to deal with, and you know, us as players, what we had to deal with. You don't forget it. It makes you a stronger person. You know, mentally we couldn't be broken. And it just wasn't a nice time. And I think that week when it finally come to a halt of it got out in the media, we weren't being paid. We went and lost three games in a week, and it's like we'd probably not lost three. I think we'd not lost three since before Christmas. So we lost 3 in a week and 7 games to play. And was like, oh, wheels are off. They ain't going to get promoted. And we sort of used that as a motivation as well. You know, right, come on, let's finish what we started here. So, yeah, it was an horrible time. Not a nice time. And, you know, obviously with the money situation, we lost a lot of money and stuff. But look, money comes and goes. You know, we just made a promise to ourselves. And, you know, we had in that dressing room that, let's go and make history because they can never take that away from us. Unfortunately, you know, the club went to the wall. And it was, you know, it's a shame. I'm hoping that, I don't know what's going on at the moment. I still speak to people and trying to find out a few things, you know. There's a group, a team that's trying to make a new Bury, or whether they're going to get the old Bury back and use the stadium, I'm not too sure. But I just think that town, they need the football club back. So hopefully when businesses start running again proper, you know, the geezer that's got the club, sell it, let the fans have their club back, let them watch some football again, because it doesn't matter now whatever league they go in, you know, hopefully it won't be too low down divisions, because I think, you know, that club doesn't deserve it. Maybe they can start a few below and work their way back up like other teams have done. But I know them Bury fans, they're passionate, they're loyal, and, you know, they follow the team up and down the country. So it doesn't matter what league they're in, they'll turn up and they'll watch their team play, and I'm hoping that can happen for them.
So during those months of obviously not getting paid, yourself and other team members decided to make a stand and a statement, which you of course fronted, and basically begging Steve Dale to walk away from the club. Just how frustrating was it for you and the players to have to make a stand whilst trying to remain professional and say the right things at the right times?
Yeah, you know, I think I spoke about it before. We had a meeting in a room where he came in and just arrogant about the whole thing, and as if he didn't have to pay us. It just, you know, we had members of staff in that room who just work at the club. They work at the club, you know, behind the scenes. They make the club run every day, and they had no money. They're crying in that room. So we sort of had to make a stand, and we had to sort of like tell him what's what. You know, I don't want to go too much into it. I've been through it all before. It's just it was a bad memory for me in terms of like what was going on. But you know, we knew he was lying. We knew we weren't going to get paid. You know, not just me. There were probably 100 people in that room that'll tell you the same thing. So, not nice at all. And disaster really. What's happened at the club? You know, but the PFA were there as well. They witnessed it. And they were great with us. They helped us out, you know, in terms of they stepped in at a certain point and helped us with our bills and stuff, helped us pay our mortgage. So brilliant from the PFA, you know, they really, you know, difficult time for us, and they really came in and helped us best they could.
So right before the expulsion from the EFL for Bury, you of course made the decision to move down south again to join Northampton Town for a second time, obviously reuniting your friendship with Keith Curle. So why Northampton? Obviously, you never wanted to leave Bury in the first place, but it proved to be a great move for you, and obviously working under Keith again.
Yeah, like I said, no brainer for me because they just come together in terms of, you know, Keith. I've enjoyed some of my best football under Keith before. He's now at a club where I've also played some of my best football. It's a no-brainer, you know. I didn't even have to think about it. You know, it's strange because at the start of the season, I had see people saying to me, "Oh, you don't want to go and you can't go and play in League One." I think they forget, like, I've been promoted in that league. Like, you're just stupid if you think that. Just people just don't, if they don't understand football, if they think that's the reason I've not gone to League One. Because Keith knows I could have gone to League One, but I do. I have to believe in what I'm doing, and I want to play for people that I believe in. And, you know, obviously I don't bring other clubs or names into it. You know, speaking to a couple of League One clubs, it was like, well, what's your ambition? Oh, well, let's just stay in the league, or, you know, if we can finish mid-table, who knows? That's not for me. I want to win things. I don't want to be sat around mid-table. You know, that's not a yeah. So yeah, like I said, going back with Keith and Northampton was a no-brainer, and, you know, like I said, the club over the last few years they've had a tough time. So just to, you know, put a smile back on the fans' faces, had another brilliant cup run this year, and putting ourselves in a position to get promoted again is great, you know. So that's what we set out to do, and that hopefully that's what we can do.
So obviously, with Ryan Lowe going to Plymouth, were you tempted in some way to join Ryan at Plymouth?
I get asked that question a lot. I won't talk about other teams and that. You know, me and Lowe are good friends, and you know he's gone to a great club in Plymouth, and I knew straight away I knew he'd do well. But yeah, I don't want to talk about whether I could have gone there or not. You know, that's not fair on other teams and Lowe as a manager. So, but yeah, look, Lowe's a top guy. And like I say, he's gone to a wonderful club, and Plymouth great side, and he's gone and took his same philosophy there. And he's got the job done. And, you know, like I was fortunate in a way because obviously, you know, I've got managers who I've done well for, you know, still at good clubs, and like I say, Keith, who's another. Obviously, me and Keith, we get on great. He's a top guy, and I can't speak highly enough of him. And, you know, I think this wanting to get promoted this year, I want it so much, and it's not really. Obviously, I want to get promoted for myself, but I want it for him and his staff really, because I've been close with him before. I don't know how much it still hurt. Like I say, it still hurts me to this day. Going so close at Carlisle, so, you know, if we can get over the line this time, and for him as a manager, it'd be great, because like I say, he's been first class for me. I can't speak highly enough of him.
So we spoke about your career and where it all started at Bury. So from that moment to where you are now, just how would you assess your career to date so far in the 15, 16 year period?
Well, yeah, I've had some unbelievable memories. That I probably won't. They probably won't sink in till I'm finished playing. I played at I played at a top. I managed to play in the championship, and I'm still playing now. Who knows? I can still get back to the championship. Premier League passed me by, but I've played against some top Premier League sides. In the cups and stuff. And so, like I say, I can't. I've given everything I've got. I always tell my kids that no matter what you do in life, if you can look yourself in the mirror and say you gave everything, then that's the most important thing. And I think I've done that. I made mistakes over the years, and going back to my younger days, I think probably could have done this different, could have done that different. Maybe shouldn't have said this, maybe shouldn't have done that. But that's just part of life, part of growing up. So, but look, some of the memories I've had in football will stay with me forever. And I think anyone will tell you to play in the football league, it's not easy. It's a very small percentage of people that get to play professional football, and I'm just fortunate that I've had the chance to do that. I've worked hard and gave everything I've got. I'm closing in on 600 games now as well, so I'm not getting any younger. But hopefully I can get to 750, mate, and who knows where I can end up.
Yeah, I seen a picture you posted recently on Twitter, I think it was, of yourself and Wayne Rooney when you played Derby in the FA Cup.
Yeah. Like I say, we had that good cup run. We managed to take Derby to a replay. They ended up beating us 4-2 at their place. But really good set. Went and played against one of the best to ever play. A legend in Wayne Rooney. I managed to get his shirt as well, which was nice. So. Yeah, just things like that. I can look back and when I'm old and I'm nowhere now anyway. But when I'm old and I'm sat in a pub, I can say, hey, I was a decent player me once. Played against some top players, played against Rooney. So they'll probably just say, oh, shut up, Nicky, you're boring. but yeah, no, like I say, not just the football. I think the one thing is the dressing room. Anyone that will tell you the dressing room's a massive part of it. You meet friends for life. I speak to people every day, like close, like Mike Jones, one of my best friends. Joe Byron, Jason Taylor. People like that who I've not played with for years now, but just friends for life that you meet along the way, and we just bring up good old times. And like I said, those memories will live with me forever. And I'm just fortunate and blessed that I managed to play at such a high level.
So you've played with some great players along the years, and you played against some great players. Now, you mentioned you swapped shirts with Wayne Rooney after the game against Derby. You must have quite a collection of shirts that you've swapped with opponents over the past 15 years.
Yeah. To be fair, I've got some good shirts. Obviously, I've got Rooney's. To be fair, I was married Danzy last year. I said, Danzy, give me a shirt. Because the thing is, I'm a local boy to Bury, but I live in Bolton, so I'm on the border, shall I say? And I've been to loads of Bolton games, so I get all the shit. I got Danzy's, Wheats's. I'd have to go through them. I've got some decent shirts.
Yeah.
So I've got quite a few good collection, but yeah, like I say, I've been blessed to play against some top players. Obviously, with Wales, we played France, and people like Gouffran and Gorkov, people like that played, and it's like if I looked at the team sheet now, I'd be like, wow, did they hardly play? I can't think. I think I played against Nzogbia, so played against some good players. I couldn't even tell you. Like the England team, obviously. What was the England team? Milner played. Joe Hart was in net. I honestly, there's so many players I played against. I probably played against people and forgot. It's like, wow, he was a good player. And then it'll come to me, I think, I played against him as well. What am I about? But yeah, and even in the Championship, playing against some top players.
So before we do call it a day, Nicky, have you got a final word for the Northampton Town supporters before we resume the season?
Look, I think I've said it, and they've seen me do interviews in the paper and stuff. You know, I've got a special bond with the fans, and they've been great with me. I can't speak highly enough of them. And I think they know that when we go out on that pitch, we'll give them everything we've got. You know, we set out to get promoted, and like I said, we put ourselves in that position. It's unfortunate that they can't be at the game, but you know, it'll be on Sky Sports. They can support us there, and we know that they'll all be watching and be right behind us. And we'll just go out there and give it everything we've got. So, and hopefully we can give them something to smile about and get back in League One.
So, Nicky, from one Boltoner to another, it's been great speaking to you today, and I wish you all the best when the season resumes very soon.
No problem, mate. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, pal. Thank you.
See you later, fella.